What's up, guys? Momo-Dog here with a bit different video again this time. No gameplay or anything like it. More of a statement video, I guess. I've been asked a lot. I haven't streamed much lately because I'm very busy with exams currently. But whenever I did stream, I streamed like twice. Every single time, a lot of people would come into my chat and ask me, Momo, what do you think of Devil Jin right now? Do you think he's as weak as people say? Where would you put him? Yada yada. Similar questions like that. I felt like answering that question in this video would be more beneficial for me in the long run because that way I can just link this video and not have to answer that question every single time. Not that I'm annoyed or anything, but I do want to give a statement on the current state of Devil Jin. And to start everything off, disclaimer, this video is not meant to downplay Devil Jin in any way. I'm not asking for buffs. Though they did say they will probably buff Devil Jin. Apparently there was some stuff going on Twitter. Not sure what exactly, but Michael Murray apparently did tell the balancing team to maybe buff Devil Jin a bit. But yeah, not meant to downplay, not meant to ask for buffs. And I'm gonna make myself a lot of enemies with very legacy Devil Jin players in this video, but it is what it is. And I'm gonna start off by saying this character is probably the most misunderstood character in the entire game, both by the down players and by delusional people like me who kept up playing him, even though on paper he was nowhere near being as strong as some of the older top tiers that now are nerfed. I have to very honestly say that this character, I have more fun playing this character in his current state, in his quadruple times nerfed state. I have more fun playing him now than I had playing him in the first week of Tekken 8, or the first few weeks of Tekken 8. And there's a very simple reason for that. The balancing of this game became much better as time went on. And I'm not sure how many people will agree with me, but there were some system changes that I just really appreciated as a player. For example, Heat Burst becoming steppable, throws not being homing anymore, or only generic throws being homing now. Stepping command throws feels really, really good. Really, really good. Probably one of my favorite changes so far. Damage got nerfed across the board. Some characters lost quite a bit of wall carry. When I compare the effort I had to put in to win with this character against the top tiers at release compared to the top tiers now, there's only 3 characters that I want to shoot myself in the head against when playing against them, and it boils down to Feng, Yoshimitsu, and Jin, and I feel like all 3 of those are pretty bad matchups for Devil Jin, but maybe it's also a skill issue on my side. Doesn't matter. The point is that I have much more fun playing this character against so many characters now that a lot of characters got balanced. It's just there are some characters that got buffed so much where I feel like playing against them became a lot harder, and Kazuya is actually one of them. I didn't fear playing against Kazuya at all before he got buffed. Now I actually do, because it does feel like there's a bit of a difference in the character strengths, but it doesn't matter. I'll play. If I lose, I'll try to learn out of it and then win the next time. It's just that in the first week of Tekken 8, playing against some top tiers back then felt like no matter how much effort I put in, it was just super hard to win for me, especially with this character, because he did feel limited back then already compared to what some other characters had. Smile, Azucena Smile. But now that I play against all of those characters, I just have much more fun. I don't really care anymore that Devil Jin got nerfed so much. I'm gonna get into what bothers me about this character regardless soon enough in this video. But one of my main points for this video is just straight up, this character is now a specialist character, and you will have to put in a lot of time and effort to get a lot of potential out of him. I started practicing these down 4 3-4 routes back in Tekken 7 already. So I learned to, build up the intuition to, land down 4 3-4 on open field in a combo, and then get the fly free back 4 ender, this one, without using a tornado at the wall or anything, just raw intuition and landing this wall ender and similar optimization stuff. Many people probably only know me from my optimization with Devil Jin anyway. But that's exactly what's so much fun for me about this character. And what upsets me a lot recently is that people have been asking for his old back 2 on up forward to come back, his old up 4 forward to come back. And I'm here to say that while it may please the majority of Devil Jin players, I personally have to speak myself out against that, because I do not want to see the old up 4 forward to come back. I do not care if up 4 stays a bad move or whatever, but That up 4-4 into flip over stuff was exactly what kind of made Devil Jin's game plan so boring for me back then, even though I loved the character's design. And that's why I played him. I loved his design. I love his design even more right now, and I love his game plan. Because you do have to think much more than just throw out the up 4-4 or the hell sweep and then pray either or hits and then vortexing the opponent. Like, this character kind of lost his strength of vortexing the opponent. Like, 1-1-2 got nerfed. Your hell sweep doesn't give much Oki anymore. Or like you have to work around that Oki real hard. And you don't have a mid as strong as this ult up 4-4 anymore. And I don't want that ult up 4-4 back either. Because if I'm being honest, that it would make the character so much more boring for me again. And one of the reasons I dropped Devil Jin as a character, as a matter of fact, when he got buffed in Season 4 back in Tekken 7, I dropped the character when he got buffed for Noctis. I know this sounds weird, but Noctis was a character that, in my opinion, was a bit undiscovered back then. So what I did, I wanted to optimize that character instead of Devil Jin because I felt like since they buffed back to 1-up-4 and similar moves back then, Devil Jin's game plan became super bland, and no matter what Devil Jin I played against, it felt the same all over again. That's why I appreciate Tekken 8 Devil Jin's design so much, because there's so much variety in his game plan now. You have Voice Standing Free, which is a godsend, really. That move alone makes me want to play the character every single day. You have a lot of fun and creative combo routes. Like, as the weeks went on, as the months went on, I still kept discovering new fun routes with the character. And thanks to the Devil Jin Discord, shout out to the Devil Jin Discord here, there were also other people who discovered fun new routes. And then you come up with stuff like, well, check this out. Oh wait, this won't work on this part of the stage. Let me go on the infinite part and then I'll show you what I mean. Like, do you see this? This is so fucking cool. This is so cool. Like, discovering all of this stuff with the help of other people or on my own doesn't matter. It's just super fun all around. This character's combo game has so much variety now, and this was not the case back in Tekken 7. Yes, you had the down for 3 to 4 fly free. Yes, you had back to 1 up forward after it got nerfed. Like, you had means of still hitting it by whiffing the first hit and stuff. But that alone wasn't enough to make the character really fun for me. And now that they changed this design up so much, both in game plan and in neutral and in combos, I appreciate this character's design way too much right now to be asking for the old Devil Jin to come back, really. And you're gonna hate me for this. I know that a lot of people will hate me for saying this out loud, but I do not want to see that old Devil Jin come back at all. I have way too much fun playing this character the way he is right now. And this may sound weird because the character, I will agree, like, without giving too much detail, I will agree this character is probably not much stronger than a lot of other characters. But at the same time, a tier list in Tekken 8, like, every single character feels strong in this game. Strong enough that if you put enough effort into the character, you will be able to win against the majority of the cast. Trust me when I say this, because I played against so many people at this point in this game. So many top level players. I played against some of the best Korean players. I've played against Europe's finest. Like, I don't feel it's the character holding me back, it's just me being bad. and me not putting in enough time with the character because I'm so busy with studies and stuff next to Tekken. I wish I could grind this game way more. I wish I could compete. I really do, but I barely find enough time to play this character, and I don't play any other characters in this game at all either, because Devil Jin is basically the only reason I purchased this game to begin with. And no matter how many times they nerf him, I will keep playing him because there's just so much more stuff to discover with him, and he's so much fun to play. I know I'm talking around like way too much for the fact that I'm not bringing across many points, but I'm just trying to stress how much fun the character is for me right now, and that's why I do not want to see him buffed in a way that will just make him resemble his old self. That's what I'm trying to say. There are things that upset me, obviously. I was upset that the character's design in the first few weeks. I made videos about that. I dislike the way his jab is right now. I dislike that this slow is just completely useless now. I dislike that his down forward 1 is the way it is now. But I've come to terms with this down forward 1, honestly. I really like it these days. At the wall, it's pretty strong, and countered confirming it in neutral is pretty satisfying. Honestly, the only thing I hate about down forward 1 these days is the fact that it sounds so ugly when you hit it on normal hit. Sounds like scratching on a chalkboard or something. But yeah, I've kind of come to terms with the way this character is designed now. But what bothers me, honestly, is the fact that they balance so much stuff around things that they ended up taking away anyway. Like, 1-1-2 into Morning Crow 1 OK is one of the few examples. Like, there's not much stuff they took away, but it still kind of hurts. Because 1-1-2 OK feels so weird now. Yes, you can still go in and mix them if they take roll, but the Oki feels nowhere near as strong as Kazuya's 112, for example. And that's perfectly fine. That is perfectly fine. I think it's okay for Kazuya to have the strongest 112 and Devil Jin's 112 to not be nowhere near as good. It's just that why balance something around the morning cross stance if you're gonna end up taking it away and then not make any adjustments? I see a lot of characters get compensation buffs or nerfs in the balancing nodes, while Devil Jin just, the only thing he got in the last patch was pretty much fixed. None of the nerfs he got were reversed at all. And when I think about, well, his release health sweep, for example, this character had the means to dish out 70 damage from a health sweep if you ended up putting in all your resources in with heat, for example. That damage, thanks to system changes, got reduced by a lot. Like, if you go for the max damage health sweep combo right now, while using heat, you end up with 56 damage. So the damage on this move, if you land it, while using all of your resources, was nerfed by 14 damage, and that's pretty hefty. The move all around just kept getting nerfed and nerfed and nerfed, and what bothers me the most, and I've said this in like the first month of Tekken 8 already, I hate the way that they tried to balance the character around a launching health sweep. Because I don't feel like a launching health sweep should be a character's identity. If you really want to make that a character's identity, look at Lei, for example. It just turns into a very degenerate style of, oh, I'm gonna try to hit him with the health sweep, and it's gonna be, or either, oh, I died because it got blocked or stabbed, or oh, the opponent got hit and now he's watching a 6 to 10 second combo and complaining about my character on Twitter, which will result in my character getting nerfed, or you get what I'm trying to say. I don't think balancing the character around his launching health sweep was the way to go. And I've already made a proposal, like I've made a video on how I would rework Devil Jin. I still think that health sweep should have been heat only, same way with all of his other laser follow-ups. Would have made the most sense to me. And then, keeping the old CD44 untouched, which was a 38 damage power low, which becomes even stronger in rage and, was just a very, very, very strong low all around. Now, I feel like CD44, now that its damage was nerfed by 3 and the range is so much worse. Well, not so much, that's a bit exaggerated. But I feel like CD44 is so much cooler than CD4 1+2. That's my honest opinion. And if they had kept CD44 as is, made CD4 1+2 a heat-only thing, like, obviously it's just my proposal. And it's not the best proposal by far, but I think it would have been better to just not balance them around this launching house, because now we're stuck with everything they took away and just leaving the launching health sweep there, and the way it is now, it just feels like bad damage all around since a lot of it is recoverable. Like if you go for the Wisering 3 route, it's 23 recoverable damage, which is fine. Like you can live with that, but if you go for the Wisering 1-1 route, you will quickly see that that changes by a lot. It's 26 recoverable health, and then you're left with 19 clean damage. And at that point, they just pop heat and, have fun. What I'm trying to say is that I feel like they should have just, if they really want to keep Devil Jin's identity as is, balancing him around the launching health sweep was not the way to go. I miss his old jab, I miss his old down 4, and I kind of miss his old down 4 1, 2, but, well, this one I kind of got to terms with. The jab I still hate a lot, and, he just feels so, when it comes to his poking, he just feels very underwhelming in this game. And I feel like the characters that have very consistent standing poking, like Feng, for example, feel like the strongest in this game right now. Because it's clean damage. What Devil Jin had above Kazuya, for example, was his very high combo damage. And it was very, very high. He could 2-touch you, and he still can, theoretically, if you put in enough effort to optimize your combos. But now that Kazuya's damage got buffed by so much, I feel like I'm getting outvalued quite hard with this character these days. And again, that's fine, but what was the point of giving the character these strengths when you're just gonna end up nerfing them bit by bit by bit by bit, and you're ended up with, that launching sweep max damage becoming so much less, and then, the killing point becoming so much harder to reach when you're playing against I don't know what character. Like, you could kill someone when they were at 70 HP, and that's what made Devil Jin so fucking strong. You had the means of killing an opponent by landing a launcher at either 100 or 70 HP. Now, that got nerfed so much that you just have to put up with your opponent having a lot of gray health when you're playing Devil Jin, because you're not going to chip them down with poking. You're going to chip them down with, chip damage. You have this at the wall. And you have a lot of launchers with this character, and counted launchers. This is basically your best clean damage, 4-4-2, or like 4-4-4 on normal hit, but your poking isn't that good. Back 4-2 tracking is not as strong anymore. You can actually sidewalk this move now. Like, I'm not trying to downplay, but a lot of his moves that he retained from his old style, like this, just feels super underwhelming to me. So what I'm trying to say is I don't even want the old Devil Jin back. I just feel like they kinda it was a hit or miss design with Devil Jin here. They tried to balance him around something, and then that ended up not working as well. Still, they decided to give the character a lot of cool stuff, like the Y standing free. You know, Shackles is kind of cool, especially in combos. In general, his combos are super cool. Like, this character is one of the coolest combo games in this game by far. Like, the more you discover, the more fun you will have experimenting with this character, which makes the character so fun to play to begin with. And then, you know, using several mid options with this character instead of just going for the old up 4-4, it's super fun. But again, it's kind of weird to think about the character's identity when his identity boils down to that launching sweep, and that launching sweep currently feels pretty underwhelming anyway. Don't get me wrong, an unseeable low launcher will always be strong. And in combination with like an electric that you can always realign to track someone trying to step that hell sweep, or, you know, having the mids you have to stop them from ducking against you. Still, I feel like that hell sweep is underwhelming. That's what I'm not trying to downplay. It's still good, but still, I wish they didn't balance him around that launching sweep. That's what I'm trying to say. And indirect system changes kind of harmed that character a ton too as time went. Like, his combo damage becoming so much less, CD1 up 4 becoming the way it is now, like becoming redundant as a wall ender even, unless you're on the floor break stage. But even then, the damage is nerfed so much now due to scaling that it's not really worth going for. You probably get more damage off hitting a back 4 1+2 wall ender than breaking the floor after a long combo with CD1 up forward and then trying to maintain the combo. I'm pretty sure, actually. So yeah, kind of lost a lot of stuff with this character. Really did. But don't really mind, because I still have a lot to work with this character. And even if I buff Devil Jin now, you have to look at this from 2 points of views. I am pretty much a casual player, and that's a fact. I do not compete currently. I do not have the means to compete. Competing is expensive and it takes time. So I just play the character from my home's comfort, basically. And I have fun playing this character. I find myself having quite a lot of success with this character, at least in my region. Might not have as much success in other regions maybe, but yeah. What I'm trying to say is, to me, this character getting nerfed doesn't change much for me. I'm gonna play him regardless. I have a lot of fun playing Devil Jin right now, even with the weird identity that he has, that he's kind of lost with time, and especially with things being taken away from him. Well, it's arguable whether the 1-1-2 into a full screen mix can be considered identity, but still. There's just a few things I wish they wouldn't have taken away from the character, so you could still keep up with the things other characters have in this game. But it's not about other characters. You can't really compare characters in this game. Every character is unique in some regards, and Devil Jin is also pretty unique. I do agree with people when they say he's the weakest Mishima now, but it doesn't really matter, because if you put in enough effort, you will still find success with the character. You will still win enough. It's just that the character is so much of a specialist character now that you will have to put in a lot of time. There's one saving grace to this character, though, and it's the fact that he probably has one of the most broken mids in the game, if not the most broken mid at the game at the wall. And, well, it's this. I think this mid is pretty fucking stupid. And I'm gonna be very honest with you. This mid, if they tech roll into it, there's nothing they can do. If they try to mash you out, they will either counter hit for like 50 damage, if not more. And if they block it, you're plus 24. You can do literally anything you want. You can stack up chip damage, you can hell sweep them, you can try to mix them. Like, there's nothing they can do. They can't hop kick, they can't power crush. Everything is uninterruptible. You can even loop the Dominic 1+2 until they finally start giving reactions and try to interrupt you. And compared to the fully charged version, which I think is pretty bad, like, cool, the guard break is nice and all, but I don't think it's a good move at all. Comparatively, this move is pretty fucking broken. The more I experimented around with his moves, like back 1+2, for example, left me pretty disappointed the more I tried playing with this move. But this move, as long as they don't touch it, will be the saving grace of this character. And I advise any Devil Jin player to start using this move more. Because, well, Is there a way for me to... Hmm. Actually, you know what? I have an idea. Let me set the bot to block all on... Wait, I'm just standing. And let's see. I need heat. Check how much chip damage this is. And most of this, like the first two parts of this, are uninterruptible. So if they try to press into your Warwearing 3, you have a lot of options to just wall split them instead. You can make them whiff, you can use your down for one countered, confirm, you know, yada yada. I think Domic 1+2 is currently the strongest mid the character has at the wall. And the character doesn't even need walls to find success, because I feel like Devil Jin in open field is also pretty strong, because he has a lot of high damaging combo routes without walls. This character is very versatile right now, I believe. And I don't even find myself mixing people up much anymore with this character at the wall. I just use the city Domic 1+2 and just try to go from there, you know. I hope they don't nerf this move, honestly. Since they nerfed a lot of other stuff he has, try to implement this move more in your game plan. This move is what makes me believe that Devil Jin is not the weakest character in the game, as people say. Like, far from it, actually. I think this character, as long as he has the electric, the hell sweep, and like these two mids, and the back 4-2, he can't really be weak. I find myself having success just using these 5 moves, for example. And then you have the 1-1 into momentum and stuff. This character has all around momentum, in my opinion. And I think Devil Jin with an aggressive style can work out pretty well if you implement that aggressive style well enough. In the end, I do find myself defending much more of this character, though, depending on the character. But yeah, aggressive style can definitely work. And I think playing Devil Jin with a simple style, you won't find much success anymore. I see a lot of Devil Jin players try to play the legacy style, like you have one mid, one high, and one low, and then you try to just make do with those 3 moves, basically. It can work, especially like if your cooldowns and your fundamentals are just at an insane level that you only need like 3 moves, but I feel like Devil Jin has enough to work with to make him more versatile and aggressive in this game. And the aggressiveness is like the go-to way of winning in this game, since, you know, it's a force versus 2 format, and you just have to force your game plan in there somehow. What it boils down to is, I don't think Devil Jin is as weak as people say. Like, yeah, he may not be better than a lot of characters, but in this game, being bottom 5 doesn't necessarily mean your character is weak. There's only one character in this game that I believe is kind of not, like, can be considered weak, and it's Panda. Horang was nerfed, I still believe the character is strong enough. Devil Jin was nerfed, I still believe the character is strong enough. Like, as long as you're not facing the absolute top tiers of the meta, you can win without having to put in much more effort than your opponent. Just that, I feel like this character is played in a weird way by a lot of people. Yes, new stuff you can work with. And I feel like as long as people refuse to implement those things that I talked about, like, for example, Domic 1+2, 4-4-4 is a pretty good mid, especially with the damage it can output on counter hit. Like, I feel like 4-4-4 is stronger on close range than from far range. I don't think this move should be used for its range. And then the damage you can dish out with this move is just insane. Like, this is a very easy bread and butter combo, and it still is like, if you don't fuck up the X's like I did right now, it's a YouTube curse. Like 83 damage, I believe. I fucked up the combo again. 1 second. All you need to do is delay the Morning Crow free. There we go. It's not hard to do at all. I just fucked it up because of the YouTube curse or whatever. But you have to take into account that you have to use different moves with Devil Jin. And you have to optimize the character if you want to get the reward that you should get for putting in the effort you put in. Again, to sum it all up, I just feel like the identity of this character is a bit weird right now, but at the same time, the character is very misunderstood. I do not think he's weak at all, and I think he's the most fun character in the game right now, at least for me, and I don't see much reason to play other characters, and you're not gonna see me drop him anytime soon. I just have way too much fun playing the character. I just feel like if you look at this character from a casual perspective and a competitor's perspective, yeah, I will agree that you should probably not play Devil Jin right now if your goal is winning. But at the same time, they're probably gonna buff this character, since there's been a lot of stigma going around this character being very weak. Let's see if that will make let's see if that will change him in a way that will make him enough for consistent tournament play. But I don't think Devil Jin is meant to be consistent in this game. Like, his design is flawed in a way where you can't be consistent with him from the get-go unless you're a defensive god. But even then, he's weird, but he's fun. So, please don't drop him. Devil Jin is fun, and I would recommend anyone to experiment more with like 3-1 down for 3-4 routes into fly 3 back 4 wall in there, or like in general his optimization, not just go for the bread and butter stuff. There's so much you can work with this character to get more reward out of the things you do, and you're gonna feel the character is a bit underwhelming against some characters, but that's always the case with Tekken games. I think Tekken 8 currently is very well balanced. Just you probably just won't notice when you're playing a character like Devil Jin. I've been talking for 26 minutes. Honestly, this has been quite a fun talk though, because I managed to speak out on some things that I've been wanting to speak out for quite a while now. Keep in mind, the more effort you put into Devil Jin, the more reward you will get out of anything you do. His character is a specialist character. He's a true specialist character now. And don't feel forced to play him in a way where you just try to force the mix-up on the opponent. There's more to this character than just that. And remember that a character having glaring weaknesses will mean that you as a player have to come up for them. And you improve faster that way, trust me when I say this. If your character has weakness that you have to come up for as a player, you will find more improvements, especially in that area. And Devil Jin kind of has a lot of areas where you can use him to improve on things. That goes for whiff punishment, poking, because I feel like his poking boils down to very little moves, and making those effective is not easy. At the same time, if you put your mind to it, you can still do anything with Devil Jin, I feel. He's not that bad. He's not as bad as people say. Anyway, Momo out. I've just been wanting to make the statement video. Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe not. I'm pretty sure I'll make myself a lot of enemies with the opinions I stated here. But well, see ya.